Jason hit Alt F4. Oh, so we have to use a different stream. Aaron, are you good with setting us up?
Yeah. I just yeah.
Do your thing. The editors have some work to do today. Hey guys, if you guys were just in the last one, Jason, he got on his soapbox. He had a lot of stuff to say, but then he just ended the stream when he was done. He Alt F4'd us. How does that even happen? That's when Jason gets real excited and is just like, well, I'm done with the show, and just ends the whole thing. No, that was not. All right, Austin, don't blame that on producer AB. All right, baby. Mick, yeah, that was a total Alt F4. Yeah, so anyways, get us syndicated on a professional network. We're ready for the big time. All right, let's get people to trickle in. Yeah, that's right. That is the sound of passions, my friends. That is the sound of passion. The editors are going to have some work to do because I really wanted to make a nice little video on cup with handle. Okay, so let me regain my composure. Everyone, if you're in Alabama, make sure you're checking the bathrooms for Spencer Israel's phone number. Jason says he's sorry. He's apologizing like a 14-year-old girl. So we appreciate it. Guys, yeah, so it's going to be a buy signal. If you see any news related to Fubo plus Benzinga, buy signal. Jason, you're not an idiot. You're passionate. We've already established. That's what passion does sometimes. Sometimes it makes a man do irrational things. At any rate, just getting back to the cup with handle, someone asked me, I want to get back to what someone asked me. They said, will you buy on a green candle above the handle? Yes, I will buy on a green handle above the candle. Green eggs and ham. So right now, not looking good. But this could still, I mean, if we get another session right here, this is still within handle zone. It just hasn't broken out yet, right? Like a pattern is not confirmed. This is one thing that I think a lot of folks kind of get wrong, is that this is not a cup with handle pattern. It is not a cup with handle pattern until we actually get a break above. Then it is confirmed that this matters. All right, so yes, with a break above our sloping line of resistance on our handle here, I want to see a session close candle above this line. If I see that, what I will do is target the next line of resistance, which is 27, in a leveraged manner. So there's a couple ways you can do this. If you have a really big trading account, you can take a big position. Or you can buy options. With a swing trade like this, I would do something like 60 to 90 days out. Or you can day trade it in between. But the way this looks with the cup and handle, let me get my little profit loss thing here. I think this is it. Yeah. Is you're entering at close above the sloping resistance, and you're setting your stop at the lowest level of support on your handle, which is the bottom of this wick. And then you're targeting this resistance line, an aggressive trade. This is very aggressive. So you're watching this. The way I don't typically do that. The way that I want to trade a cup and handle is a break above the right cup, and then even more conservatively, or the right pivot above the left cup, which is this resistance line. So then our profit loss, our entry, our stop, and our target looks like this, about a nickel above resistance. I'm setting my stop at the breakout, wherever it broke out at. And then I'm targeting the depth of my cup up to my neckline here, my resistance. Let me get rid of the chillin' and chillin' hashtag. And I'm targeting that depth. So then you get a much more attractive risk-reward ratio then you have more time. It's a longer trade. It's more of a swing or positional trade. So this is something where you can expect upward, a little consolidation, and some activity before you eventually get to your price target. But you are looking for full resolution and monitoring it on a less frequent basis. Internet enforcers. I've considered it, but I don't feel. I don't. Give me a 1 in chat if you guys want me to do educational videos. Give me a 2 in chat if you think that I'm not ready for that, because that's what I feel like. I'm still learning. Jason is the living embodiment. Guys, here's some love for Jason Rasnick. He is the living embodiment of the Nike slogan. Jason is the Nike slogan. Jason goes to the church of Nike or the temple, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's more of an analogy. Let's not get caught up in identity politics. Okay, so that's your cup with handle with some squigglies on it. Cup with handle CPF. CPF should be on the watch list, guys. So this is one of those ones where you're going to check back in periodically. And baby, once it breaks out above this, the great thing about it is if you want to day trade it too, if you want to do some options day trading, you can do that on the way up. You can milk this thing all the way up to your sell target. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of making a fake religion here, but yeah, I don't. Shia LaBeouf, I don't like that guy. Yada yada yada. All right, yeah, throw your tickers at. Just scream them at me. I want you guys frothing in the mouths like psychotic zombies, screaming your tickers at me in all caps. But please, while you're doing that, give me a time frame to look at. Twitch is here, guys. Everyone say hi, Twitch. Hi, Twitch. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Austin, you kind of nailed it. Guys, ticker and timeline. Austin, what was your ticker? So I love how you're screaming it. That way I can actually hear you. That way I notice. It's easier for me to notice your comment among the stream of other comments if you all caps it. Okay, so the first one I see that's actually got a ticker and a time frame in it is from Kurt. We got the XEL, which X, is that metal or perhaps energy? Too good. Woo, baby, what? God, if DMCA wasn't so hard on me lately, I'd play a certain song right now. Because we've got a bona fide, well, more or less. It is time to feast on this. No, I didn't want that. I wanted the week. Let's look at this on a weekly basis. Zoom out, do a little multi-time frame analysis on this thing. Let's take a look at this strong trend that we had here. Let's get our trend line tool out. Let's do it right. Boop. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So these two swing lows lining up with this swing low. And then when we got really rejected, look how sharply we went down after we lost this support line. So there you go. That's a great indication of the importance of trend lines and how they are the manifestation of the memory that price has on your charts. All right, so look at this. Look at this from a pure trend perspective. What's happening with XEL right now, guys? Let me know in chat if you can see sort of what's happening, because there is a battle here. There's some tension. There's some drama. All right, we're watching it unfold. We're like, I was about to do a dumb analogy, but I won't. Right here. We're at the border right now. We just handed the Canadian Mounties our little U.S. passport, and they're looking at it real scrupulously. They're, sir, do you have any cigars or sausages in your trunk? And you start sweating. Because you do. That's kind of where we are with XEL. We want to break above this line and then show that we are back on trend. And then we're in bull trend city. We're in a bullish regime. We have exited our bearish regime. So that's the number one thing you want to do with that. from a pattern perspective, tough to say from a pattern perspective. This does not look like it's forming any meaningful breakout pattern. This just looks like some normal price action that is trying to get back on trend. So my take on XEL is you want a solid close. I'm going to sound repetitive, and that's okay, because that's trading. Repeating the same thing over and over as long as it works. Once you find what works, repeat it over and over. Don't try to get cute. There should be an element of the mundane to trading, because we're here to make money, not do fancy, cute stuff. We want a candle close above the sloping line of resistance and turn it into support. And then I'm looking at that as a buy signal. And then we're going to look for something lofty like this. So let's do some additional analysis on this. We're on the weekly. So let's switch over to the daily. All right. The whole time that was weekly. Looks like today might not be the day. However, this is a very neutral candle. This is a very neutral candle, but you can see how it's just been for the past 4 days, including today, been respecting this line as resistance. We want to return to that trend, guys. And again, so just if you want to draw the trend line on your chart, that was the low on June 11, 18, and then the low on Jan 4, 19. This is a long-term trend that we're trying to break back into. Let's pull out our Bollinger Band and see if we've got some gas in the tank. So great sign here on the Bollinger Band is this mean curl on the red. Mean curl. This would have been, back here, a buy signal. Many traders will use this as a buy signal, purely indicating a reversal in trend on the Bollinger Band. That's the 20-day moving average on a daily chart. But now, look at this. We're in overbought territory, so we're watching it. And the MACD is also in overbought territory. It's way up there. So that's the RSI and the MACD are both way up there. So it's looking like people might be taking some profits at this level, and we might get a little bit of a corrective phase here. No surprise that I don't see a very clear breakout pattern. A lot of times if you're going to break into something, you'll see a sort of a pattern to confirm it. GoPro, let's do it. What are you, Ricky Gutierrez? He loves that stock. Ricky Gutierrez trades like 3 stocks over and over every single morning. Is done by like 10 a.m. It's insane. Like if you ask him, like, oh, which stocks are you looking at? And he says GoPro, like every time. And then back to what we were saying earlier about QQQ. He also flippy flops between the Qs and the inverse Q, so the SQQQ. He'll do that all the time. If Q is not doing what he wants it to do from a bullish perspective, he'll just switch to SQQ. Trade that, get done. Then he goes to class at high school and drives a Lamborghini home. Okay, yeah, so we're looking at GoPro. I mean, very quick analysis is just Bollinger Band. Is we had a big expansion here on our Bollinger Band for this big explosive move that included that gap, though. A lovely gap. So big explosive move is going to cause our Bollinger Band to expand, and the Bollinger Bands are going through cycles of expansion and contraction. So now we're entering that contraction phase, which is perfectly fine. Now we're touching this 20-day moving average line. If we're respecting this mean, this middle point in our bands, you can target something modest. Just using Bollinger Bands, something modest, a modest swing up to the upper line on the Bollinger Band, and then perhaps expect another cycle of expansion in the Bollinger Band. In which case, if I redraw this, you're looking for your Ripster floating on cloud scenario, where you've got your price doing this, and then you've got your 20-day moving average doing this. That's one way to look at GoPro, purely from a trend analysis, just using something very organic, the Bollinger Band. Let's remove that and just only look at price. Only looking at price here. You can see we had a short little rounding bottom here. Very short following this gap down. That we exploded out of. And let's see if this lines up. So the depth of this rounding bottom, the low point up to our neckline, then added to our neckline, lines up perfectly with the body, the closing of this session. So you can see that resolution of this pattern here. So that's just the power patterns for you. Hard to see the mouse movements. Yeah, I'll call out stuff. Okay, guys, time to get foaming in the mouth, start screaming your tickers at me like maniacs. But give me a time frame. VISL on the 5-minute chart. VISL, nice. On the what chart? 5-minute. Okay, let's do it. So on the 5-minute, I'm going to pull up 2 moving averages. I'm going to pull up the 8 exponential moving average and the 21 exponential moving average. So this is where I very simply would just use these moving averages. This is comes from Brad Weber. He has done a lot of back testing, and he really likes the 8 and 21 exponential moving averages as buy and sell signals on the 10-minute chart. But he's done it on the 5. In a lot of cases, when I'm trading the 10-minute chart, I flip back and forth between 5 and 1 minute and so forth to get an idea of when I'm going to get whipsawed. But at any rate, you had a buy signal here. So the red line is our fast line. The blue line is our slow line. 8 EMA, 20 EMA. Buy signal after market close yesterday. We are still in hold territory for that initial trade. RSI looking good. MACD flashed a buy signal this morning at 9:35. So right after the open, the MACD fast line crossed the slow line, flashing a buy signal. So what I have to say about this is entry was a bit earlier. Entry could have been right here. Buying at the low of this wick would have been sick. And that would have been a percentage up of 6%. Absolutely beastly for an options in the money call option expiring this Friday. Let's go. I don't know what the... Oh, god dang, this thing is awesome. I don't know what the options volume is like for this stock, but in principle, that is the way I would trade on the 5-minute. But if you just bought common on a 6% move, get yourself a McDonald's McGriddle. Get the good new one. I think they have a McGriddle with fried chicken patties on it. Like, look at this thing go. If you are in VISL on the 5-minute and you used a buy signal like the 8 increment EMA crossing the 21 EMA, or you entered a bit later with the fast line on the MACD crossing the slow line, hoo-wee. Get 2 of those damn McGriddles. Spoil yourself. And then this weekend just work out. Or like take a walk, whatever. Okay. So VISL. So I think if you're in this, if you're in VISL and you wanted me to just confirm that you're a sick trader, you got it. Well done. All right, everyone hit the like button because we have to hit it again because Jason restarted the stream. Everyone, please hit the like button. It seriously helps us with the algorithm, especially now that our shows are separated. Smash that like button for this great chat pick, VISL. And every time I look at this thing, this candle is screaming You know you want it, Neil. You know you want that chicken McGriddle. And I do. I do want it really bad. But you know what? It's summertime, and it's time to start doing some crunches and some push-ups. I'm pushing my muffin top down into my waistband. It's time to get out there. And this buy signal already flashed, so guess what? I'm not chasing. I'm not chasing. But good work on VISL. All right, next ticker, please. CTRM on the 4-hour. Thank you, Alfredo. Oh, shipping? Reverse scenario. So the great thing about day trading options is that when you're using the 8 and 21 and you see the fast line cross down through the slow line, that's your signal to go short or sell. So in the money puts expiring this Friday. Let's go. Just make sure that you sell to close before the close. That's it. We're not holding these options contracts for more than a day. Shout out Brad Weber. I will forever give credit to Brad Weber for putting the work in to find this indicator and then gifting it to me like a mythical sword. Like he's Merlin. I'm little King Arthur. And I have used this and it has worked for me. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect indicator. You've got to keep your wits about you, and you have to know your other indicators to confirm. You got to look for confluence. Confluence also is occurring here with MACD. Is flashing a sell signal right here. All right, but then you've also got to be looking at support and resistance lines. Very, very important. That's why we don't just look at the 5-minute chart, which I'm doing now. But he wanted to see that in the 4-hour, so actually I'm doing you guys wrong. So let's start with the weekly. Let's zoom out. Let's do a little multi-time frame analysis here to get a lay of the. Oh, okay, I see what's happening here. Okay, so we got Castra Maritime CTRM. Is that right? Is that the right ticker? Stupid paintbrush. Okay, Castra Maritime. Oof, looks a little messy. This looks, just looking at the weekly chart, this looks like it's a no-touch zone for me. But, are you looking for the bounce? Is that why you want me to look at this? We've got this rounding bottom where we gap down, and I'm drawing my line here. You can see that is exactly at previous support. Can y'all see that? Previous support was support. Before this gap, another gap down. This thing is sinking. Pun intended. Shipping stocks. I'm not touching this thing. We know this line is important because we got a gap down here at this level. We got resistance here at this level. It broke out as soon as it crossed this level on the rounding bottom. This was the start. This was the swing high for the left side of our rounding bottom, and it was previous support back in March 20th, 23rd, 2020. Now we're below. It looks like we're sinking. This is no touch territory for me, and plus the stock is like 46 cents. AUTL daily. Let's go. Well, okay. I'll revisit NMM if you tell me a timeline. I have to reinforce these rules. AUTL daily. So therapeutics, we got biotech. Yep. Day charts. You see that keyboard shortcut? Yeah. So we're starting off with the big picture, as we always should. Especially when you're getting into a stock that you're not familiar with, you must familiarize yourself with it. Its behavior and its important support and resistance levels. So let's go to the absolute swing high. I'm going to use my Fibonacci retracement tool at the swing high here. Down to the swing low. I'm just thinking about that cup and handle video that I was hoping to export and how bad it's going to suck. I think we're going to have to try again or re-record that. Cool thing, Fibonacci retracement. We like it. We don't. It's not. We're not going to burn incense and start turning over tarot cards. All right. But it's a tool and it helps and it works. Just by anchoring at the high, the all-time high for the stock, and then the second anchor at the current support level, which I'll go ahead and draw here. Which I'll pull this down a bit lower actually. Yeah, it's actually perfect. Check it out. We can see one of our lines is lining right up with this control point here, this resistance level. Another one of our lines is right at this point of support. Bing, bing. You guys should see that. And then also the meat of the trading, another line right here at our resistance level. So good Fibonacci. We've confirmed that this thing is obeying Fibonacci levels so that we can use them as a guide. We're in a downward trend. We need a reversal pattern to go long. Is your thesis to go short on this, or is your thesis to go long? Whoever gave me this, go ahead and drop that in chat. This is AUTL, Autolus Therapeutics. Benzinga does have an earnings calendar. There's a great calendar for earnings in Benzinga Pro, pro.benzinga.com. Get a free trial. But we also have an earnings calendar on the website that we're working on making the best damn earnings calendar on the internet. Dare I say the world. So looking at this thing on the daily, I don't see a strong reversal pattern. So since we're at the bottom here, and if you have a bullish thesis, you'd want to see a head and shoulders bottom, a rounding bottom, or a diamond bottom. Those are your reversal patterns that you want to see to set your entry levels and time it. But we just don't have it right now. Oh, right. What ticker is next? Link. Maybe producer AB can help out with that. Next ticker and time frame. IRM. You got it. Producer AB.
Yes, sir.
I hear you. What's going on?
You hear me, you said?
Yep.
You said my name. What did you say I could help with?
Can you drop a link to the earnings calendar page?
Earnings calendar page, yep.
We're doing a lot of, it's kind of somewhat under construction. We're doing a lot of work to make our earnings calendar the best one on the net. I just said the net. Oh my God. Getting old. So some of it might be under construction, but if you are able to get to it, please give us feedback. Send it to powerhour@benzinga.com. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. So I'm drawing some important lines here. The next thing I want to draw is just a little trend here. So let's shortcut our trend on IRM. Iron Mountain. Is this the data? Oh no. Okay. Finance, real estate. Okay. Not volume profile. I'm looking for my little shortcut, linear regression. Woo! Look at this little short-term trend we're in. That tool that I use to automatically generate that is the linear regression tool. Is probably on every charting tool available. Nothing exotic. Just auto-generates a trend line based on the moving average. So go back to your calculus class and you'll know what I mean. So we're riding the median here. We're in a healthy upward trend. So what I would say about Iron Mountain is that there is no reason for a trend to end until it does. I don't see any signs of a top out here. So I think this is, depending on how you want to trade it, this is something you could go long on, like for a longer period. There's not much more to it. We're in a really healthy area where we're just consistently between like 60 and 70 on the RSI. We are going down a little bit on the MACD. Not sure what that is about. So you might wait. I mean, if you want a better entry, you might wait for a return to support and then target a return to mean, or even a return to the upper deviation there. Another thing we can do, is pull up our handy Bollinger Band. And we can see with the Bollinger Band, which is much more organic because it's tracing the 20-day moving average. We can see that we're loftily riding this mean, which is great. This is where you want to be for longer term holdings. This is where like the ARK ETFs were for like all of 2020, and they were just printing money. Not saying that's necessarily what's going to happen here. We can see here we had a nice little double bottom reversal. Great entry point would have been as soon as we crossed this sloping resistance line. And you can see that's exactly where it opened on the following session and shot up. I'll zoom in. So this is just a good stock. I'm gonna add this to, I'll use my Monday watch list to, and just add IRM. Add a text note and just say, is it going to let me? It's going to be dumb. Yeah, it's going to be dumb. Whatever. Good stock. J-Pow is killing the market. Oh, no. Let's look at the cues. The market getting killed. Ramon is the best technical indicator. Let me get my dumb drawings out of here. I mean, the cues, this is going to happen. This is one of those eerie things where it seems like as soon as you hit a resistance level, a catalyst happens in the market to like confirm that you're going to get rejected. Very eerie how that stuff happens. Yeah, so this is QQQ. Just checking to see, because chat says that J-Pow is killing the market, and we're just seeing how bad. I do want to see support get held here. That would be great, J-Pow. On the SPY. That would be sick. Palantir. So here's what's happening with Palantir. We had the beginnings of a reversal where you could have reasonably bought on the bounce here and then targeted the 50% way, like, how do I say this? Like the halfway point in our double bottom kind of box that we've drawn around this. So if I move this, you can see that we're getting sort of a double bottom, which we want to see for a reversal on Palantir, removing the Bollinger Band and get the noise out of the way. And the meat of our trade is the top of these candles. It's not this little ocean spray thing. Volume profile would confirm that. And then so we draw in a box around our double bottom, and then halfway through, very easy with this tool because you can see the nodes. Can be targeted at the bottom point. And you can also grab a line, like I'll grab this one. Like this, for a sloping line of resistance that you want to break out of. So we've kind of got two rough areas here. Number one, we've got a horizontal line of resistance that we just got rejected at with Palantir, which all that did was continue this downward trend that we're in. And then now we've got the sloping line of resistance that we got to break through. So we got kind of two areas we want to break through. Not sure when it will happen, but when it happens, that's when you go long Palantir for a swing. If it crosses above these, we're targeting about 2680. If it crosses 2680, then we're targeting the depth of our little double bottom here that I have highlighted in yellow, added to the resistance line, which is 32.87. So a conservative trade on that would be waiting for a breakout at the top there, about 5 cents above it, and then shooting for about 21% move, 22%. All right, guys. Producer AB, can you come on here for a second?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Producer AB, turn your camera on.
Oh, I'm here. Here I am.
How are you?
A little tired this morning. Haven't had my coffee or anything yet, but
You got to drink the coffee as soon as you get up.
You're lucky. You're in East. I'm a whole hour before you right now, so it's only not. I've been up since 6:30 my time, which is 7:30 your time.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. I know it's a struggle. Were we supposed to have a guest on Get Technical this morning?
We were. I got a little distracted with the whole stream ending, switching over. So we got Jesse Elite here, straight from Zinger Nation. Got a Zinger fan coming on the show today for just 5 minutes or so.
All right, good stuff, Producer AB. Thank you, man. I like that sweater. It looks great on you. You are
I got it from Ross's, Dress for Less, for like $12.
Oh, man, that's a screaming deal.
I'll take it.
All right, let's bring our guest on.
Jesse, how we doing? Oh, we got you on mute, Jesse.
How am I doing now? Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You sound a lot better.
All right, good. So hope you guys are having a good trading day. I've been watching all morning, Neil. You're great. Learning a lot from you as well because it helps me with the vernacular of things. I started trading without learning a lot of technicals and just watched the chart, lost money, and learned how to make money off of losing money. So it's nice to hear some people use a lot of the big words you don't hear out there in the other chat rooms. So.
Thanks for that, man. So sorry about the confusion, first and foremost. We're very glad to have you here. Your background is incredible. I love the monitor that you have in the background, and the colors are a feast for the eyes. Would you mind telling folks a little bit about yourself and what you can teach them, what they can learn from you?
Yeah, I started a group of friends and I got together trading a few years back, and then we just basically started sharing our ideas, what we've learned. We watched a lot of videos, started learning from each other, and said, you know what, I could teach you what I know, you teach me what you know, and we started doing live sessions, weekly, Monday through Friday. We would do them at 7:30 at night, just get together and talk about what we see in the market and indicators. And then we found some really advanced traders that found us that were like, you know what, I can help you guys out. We can learn about some really good things. They started building a course for us and teaching me and teaching our whole group, and really just all about options and then market structure, Elliott theory, Elliott waves, and Wyckoff theories and stuff like that. I haven't even got all the way through everything, but that's what he's teaching a lot of people. And we're learning a lot from each other. So it's just I trade options professionally. That's what I don't have any other job besides trading options to pay the bills, but I like to scalp, make 3 to 4% instantly and kind of get out. We do it live in a trading session with friends, and it's pretty fun.
Cool. Well, would you mind sharing your screen and just giving us like a bite-sized glimpse of how you do it?
Yeah. So basically a lot of times with another friend of mine, John, he's a trader. We like to scalp SPY. Just making quick moves, and we look for instant. I'm on the 1 to 5 minute charts, trading the 10-minute time frame. So if I go to a 10-minute, we'll go to the 15-minute on this one, and then if we're looking right here, we see that we're catching some support. We're looking for another candle to open up and show that this 50% is going to be protected. So I'm looking at this previous red candle. If I get a 50% retracement on this green line and it rejects like this wick did, then I'm assuming that this next line is going to open up a little flat, and then possibly we're going to look to go to the downside a little more. But if we test back, get some support right here, then I'm looking forward to actually break back and consume this previous candle in the next maybe 2 or 3 bars. So if I was looking to get in, I would wait for another confirmation on a smaller time frame for a quick play. And you could get in right here if it's showing that it's breaking above here. You want to see another green candle break. You want this to break above, make a new high, and then maybe possibly come back and take back this previous move. And so typically,
what are those lines that you have?
On the board right now is the KC and the EMA, and they're basically, I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy that could say, you know what, I can give you everything about what this information is showing me. I just watch the lines, see how they respect it. And to me, I don't have to know everything. I just want to know enough that will help me be profitable by putting a lot of indicators together. So I've been testing them. I like to use the strategy tester down here and actually test these strategies to see if they're working. And sometimes for me, a benefit is actually finding strategies that don't work and following the strategies that are terrible that are on here, that if you could find that they have a really bad, every time the indicator goes off, that's wrong. So I like to bet again. Sometimes I say, if there's a lot of people in, maybe I want to go the other way, because there's a lot of people catching on.
They're all watching it and they're all doing it, especially on shorter time frames. You can see
exactly.
The fruition. Yeah. So the point illustrated there, I just want to just blow through it really quick, just reiterate, because I do that. He's got the Keltner channel, which honestly, neither one of us know how it's calculated, but we know it works. So we're using that as an indicator along with the 50 EMA. He's on the 5-minute chart here. And something that he pointed out that I love, that I hear actually from short, like options day traders, is when there is a breakout pattern or some sort of indicator that a lot of people commonly use as a buy signal, and it gets rejected, and it just doesn't work out well, you front run them and go the opposite direction.
Yeah, go with some puts right there, and in the money puts right then, and you drop 50 cents, you're going to gain sometimes 15, 30, 40% on that option contract within minutes, and you have to get out on that intrinsic value. So, I mean, when it's dropping, a lot of people will be like, man, I was just up $100, and then now I waited 2 minutes, and now I'm up 12. And I said, because it held some type of minor support at a lower entry level, and you lost that intrinsic value on the way down. That's how I interpret intrinsic value, is that people are like, wow, this thing might be worth 200 in 2 minutes. So I'm going to pay up money. I'm going to pay up. But then they go, hold on, no one's paying up that money. I'm no longer right. And it caught some support. And now it's only worth $12 in profit, but you still make $12 maybe, on a $300 contract.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a great point too, is capturing profit from options and not sticking in too long, because options are all about promises and what people think is going to happen. So getting out while the thing is still in motion is often a great way to get profit before it starts to lose its value. So when you're talking about buying options, are you always in the money with weeklies?
Well, if I'm playing it to get in and out on the short time frame, and I'm playing a weekly, like a Monday, it's a Monday, and I'm trading a Friday contract, then yes, I'm playing in the money at a strong support level that I see on a small time frame, and then all I need is just a little bit of it to confirm and move up a little, just a tiny. I mean, even this move right here, it all depends on the speed of the move. Now, you don't want to be eking here, because you're just going to be getting time decay. So it's all about that you don't want to worry about your theta and worry about time decay too, because you don't want to be getting hammered on one little, you watch this move right here. Well, if it gets taken back down here to the red, then your contract you bought right here is going to be worth $30, $40 less. Usually just in that short time frame on SPY anyway. That won't happen on a lot of smaller companies, but on something like this, you're going to see, even like Tesla, if you're trading Tesla with options, you can get in on $100, $200 spread. You're getting in on the bid, and then 2 seconds later, you just hit the ask, and then it's just one little half a candlestick can move in 1 minute, and you just made $50 to $100 on a contract. So it happens really fast, and a lot of people don't know that when they start buying them, because it's not like buying a common share and you make it oops and it's 1 to 5%. It's an oops here can be 50% of a contract or a whole contract if you don't know what you're doing.
So okay, so now we're starting to hit our own time decay on the show. If you can leave folks with one lesson that you've learned from the losses that you've had, the bruises that you got, the scars, what's one sort of line or adage that you would say to new options traders?
Find out what you're good at and harness what you're good at. And if you find something that's not working for you, understand why it didn't work, and then test the strategy by changing it and not by going away from it, and find out a way to make that strategy work, because everyone has a different strategy, and you just got to find your own and just believe in it until you figure out a way to make it work for you and stick with it.
I love it. All right, man. Where can folks find more from you in your group and continue learning with you?
Our company is called Elite Trading. We have an Elite Trading Discord server, and then we also post. I have hundreds of videos on YouTube on Elite Trading about options. We have hours of live trainings like this, just talking with good people, and they can go to just look up Elite Trading on YouTube. We've been working on our website. It's elitetradinglive.com. It's more desktop friendly than mobile. So if you have mobile listeners, they won't like it, but elitetradinglive.com is just something that we're working on to get people to be able to see a little bit of information and find us. So I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll come on and talk with you anytime. I love this show.
Yeah, I like it. And I like your trading style too. So I still want to pick your brain about it. So I'd love to have you on again, man.
All right. Anytime. Let us know. Let Aaron tell Aaron to reach out. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, man. You have a good one. All right, guys. Elite Trading Live link is in the chat. Just a reminder, that website is still under construction a little bit. So you want to, give them some grace. It might not work on mobile, but you can find them elsewhere. Make sure you're dropping those links in there. Producer AB. We are at time for the show. I want to thank everyone for coming on. I just want to remind everyone, guys, where's my screen share? Come on, screen share. BenzingaBootcamp.com. 0 to hero. Do you want to be a 0 or a hero? We all know the answer. Make sure you get yourself to BenzingaBootcamp.com and register for the Day of Education this Saturday for free. Be there. I'll be there. And a whole bunch of fantastic educators that you can see here are going to be there as well. So come on, join the party. It's going to be fun on a Saturday. At any rate, this has been Get Technical. Shout out to producer AB. Shout out to Jason Raznick. And shout out to our very, very special guest who came out a little bit late, but I think we got a great lesson. At any rate, happy trading and have a great day.
What's up, everybody? I am Jonathan, and this is Ryan. We're going to do another little Benzinga Pro showcase for you today. I'm glad that that bass line on the music finally caught up to it. It was like I felt like I was watching a Godzilla movie, except with audio. But how you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great. I want to clear something up real quick from the end of Neil's show there. They mentioned Keltner channels. I love Keltner channels. They said neither of them knew how to calculate it. It's actually very simple. A Keltner channel is going to use the 20 EMA as that middle line, and then the upper band and the lower band are traditionally two times the average true range away from that 20 EMA. So super simple, really, really effective. Love that they were covering that on the show.
Yeah, I think we might actually have a separate video just on using Keltner channels.
We do
on our help site, right? So if you go to pro.benzinga.help and just search for Keltner, then you'll probably see something there. But Ryan, there's a lot going on in the market today. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'm going to start with our old friend Hall of Fame Resort. So you guys might have remembered this because we had an exclusive story that caused the stock to pop. It happened again. We had you can see here right at the top there. Why is it moving? Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company shares are trading higher after the company announced its first NFT offering in partnership with Dolphin Entertainment and Elite Holdings. We actually beat the press release on this by 6 minutes. So Benzinga Pro users were going to have first crack at that huge pop that you see here in the pre-market. So big shout out to the team. Awesome stuff. You're going to see more and more of that. So that's where we're going to start. You mentioned that there was quite a bit happening here. I have to go back because yesterday on Zinger Nation, Raz called me up to talk about GoGo, and I said that this was a real good company, a real good buy here. It's a turnaround story, et cetera, et cetera. We got an upgrade today. We got an upgrade this morning. I expect a few more upgrades this morning as well. So GoGo, another pop this morning on an analyst upgrade, and then also from the movers tool here. Obviously, we use this every day. Jonathan, you and I talk about this every single day. We had a nice potential move here in Ecor this morning. Jonathan, I was talking to you about this. I was really impressed with your ability to analyze this. You were spot on with it. So Ecor right here had a nice pop this morning here. Jonathan, you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I noticed was the news. So if we click over to the news on that, we saw some FDA related news on this product they have to basically help COVID-19 patients. And so anything that touches COVID-19, it's a buzzword, it's more likely to move. But then the question is this really going to hold up? So that's where I was a little bit more cautious. And we can see on the price action kind of where that ended up. I was like, this does have the potential to run during the regular session or later on in the pre-market. So I was taking a look at maybe, 8:30 a.m. And then sure enough, it wouldn't have done much if you were waiting for it to break those pre-market highs. But as soon as that volume came in there, it made for a potential day trade. So just depending on what you were looking for, I think it was hitting some resistance there, not from the high, but the lower level of maybe the second highest bump there in the pre-market. And it was like, I don't know, is this going to be a reversal and just fall out right away? But it did end up going up higher before selling off again. So, you can see from the volume there at the bottom where there was a potential day trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the reasons why I'm glad that we're highlighting this one is because this is something that, again, there would have been no indication that there was a potential trade here for me without using Benzinga Pro. And we took a look here at what's going on in the pre-market. We did some very, very quick technical. You just covered it, Jonathan. Where we're looking at the near-term intraday bottoms after this price spike here, and we're marking that off as an important point. And you'll notice that as soon as the market opened, we actually sold off a little bit. We bounced off of that point, and then we kept going up. Now, if we zoom in here a little bit, the day trade that you're talking about, Jonathan, that was right in here. And we talked about that, right? This stock traded up, put a resistance point right here at 220, came back in. And this is where you're talking about this is where we're concerned about the volume, the buying volume here. This is really where it took off, right? Soon as those buyers stepped in, we went back up to that 220 point, we popped it, and we traded up another 12 cents, excuse me. So real good point here. Again, the key here is that we had a pop in the morning, and we were able to identify why it popped, right? We have a press release headline with COVID in the headline, right? That's definitely going to draw eyeballs to it. It's in the news all the time. So that's why we had a pop. Then we use technical analysis to determine the support and resistance lines, and we're only concerned with near-term resistance lines in this case, right? As soon as the day trade took place, look where we're settling in here. So I'm not sure that a swing trade is on here. This is very, very helpful. You can deduce whatever it is that you're going to do very, very quickly here. So a potential headline turns into a day trade. Very, very easy to identify. Real good stuff.
And the way that I actually found this morning was actually on my news feed, which is highlighted for FDA-related items. So you can see on the news tab there that the press release came out at 7:59 a.m. And then we had a similar article a few seconds later that was tagged with FDA. And that's what I was looking for on my news feed. So I said, hey, this is an FDA-related item. It's already moving. I should definitely watch this for continued volatility in the regular hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've covered this quite a bit, right? These are definitely categories that will move stocks, right? FDA news, anything with COVID related, that's going to end up moving a stock. That's exactly what we saw here. And just real quickly, just to clear this up, the reason that this isn't highlighted is I'm on a different machine and I loaded up a different layout that doesn't have those settings saved. So otherwise, you're absolutely right. This would have appeared in light blue, as that's normally how I color my healthcare, biotech, and FDA headlines.
And just kind of transitioning here to some analyst action related stuff. I came up with a new setting that I really liked this morning. using 3 different filters on the Analyst ratings calendar. So anybody who's heard me talk before probably knows that I like initiations and upgrades. Well, this morning, what I tried was I didn't filter out the maintains. I was just looking for anything that was a positive rating and then had a price target that was either announced or raised. And the price target was less than $50. And here's why. We don't have the price per share filter yet on the calendar tool, but you can filter by the price target and get a general idea of, okay, if the price target is under $50, then, the current price is probably lower as long as they're, bullish on the stock. And so that gave me a nice little list that I could use there to find stocks that were likely to go up based off of some analyst actions.
All right. So, Jonathan, I apologize for being a little bit slower and behind you here. I did get the ratings filtered. What were the other filters that you applied for this example?
And then for action price target, so we got some positive ratings there. And then for action price target, just deselect all of those except for announces and raises. So either they're raising the price target or they're announcing a price target. And then down at the bottom for the price target filter, you just click on that and you say less than 50 or, really whatever you're looking for. You could go lower than that, but that's going to significantly reduce the number of results in the calendar. And I'm still seeing some neutral ratings. So that's probably why we're seeing so many there.
Yeah. Again, I'm sorry. It's a little laggy here when I'm clicking these. The one thing that you were mentioning about the price target, that's a really good filter for adapting to, everyone's different trading plan, right? Some people love trading stocks that are $100, $200. Others, maybe only stocks $1 to $20. So really, really good filter there to narrow this analyst ratings down to fit stuff that more accurately meets your trading plan. So did I get it here now, Jonathan? Did I get them all, or do we still have too many?
Let's see here. So yeah, we've got all of these, and it's probably just that a bunch came out since I was looking at it at like 8:30 a.m. this morning. But I did find some good movers this morning based off of those price target changes.
Yeah, awesome. And you can do this all the time, right? You can do this every day. Like I was saying about GoGo today. GoGo today with another rating caused the stock to pop. And that's going to happen quite a bit, right? And these analysts, they do their homework. It's not as if they're just out here saying things. They're actually doing research and homework on these stocks, and they're bringing that information to you. So analyst ratings, really, really good starting off point. You can definitely learn something from what those analysts are looking for. Then you might be able to apply that to other plays going forward as well. So real good stuff here. Was there anything else that you really wanted to cover this morning, Jonathan?
Well, I do see someone in the chat talking about Nvidia. So do we want to take a look at that? And just see, they said it's growing steady this week. So, just in thinking about either day trades or swing trades, we could take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. One of the things that I wanted to cover real quickly, this came from a phone call that I took from one of our users the other day. They were asking, what is an easy way to get an idea of what's going on in the market? And I thought about that for a second. And, he didn't really have a whole lot of specifics there. So that was tough for me. But I thought to myself, you know what? Whims, hot, and exclusive stories. And I have a workspace set up here that makes it very, very easy to consume that information. So I have just 2 news feeds here. The one on the left is BZ Wire only as the source and only the whims as the category. And this is really helpful because this is going to show you all of the stuff that our news desk has been digging into and figuring out why it's moving, all in one spot in chronological order. And then on the right side here, I have the BZ Wire as the source and then only the 3 highlighted red categories selected: exclusives, hot, and market moving exclusives. And that's going to give me an idea of, what's going on with the market. Like we've got the jobless claims print here. We have that exclusive story from Hall of Fame that we covered at the top of the segment. So this is a really, really good way to kind of just figure out what's going on at a glance. Really easy to set up. I leave it up here on my platform because I just click over to this when I need a refresher on what's going on. So I just wanted to shout that out again because I got asked about that recently, and that's one of my favorite little tips. Super fast to figuring out what's going on. Now let's go ahead and pull up Nvidia as you had mentioned. All right. Now I missed the comment in the chat. Let me see if I can find it there.
Basically, just that it was going up steadily this week, and as you look at the day chart here, you can see that it has had a nice little push up over the past 7 or 8 sessions. Maybe
Yeah,
even 10.
absolutely. It looks like we've actually been testing this 200-day moving average. We tested it twice, right? We definitely broke through it here at the beginning of March, but we very, very quickly reclaimed that 200-day moving average. We actually tested it here near the end of March and held. Now we actually broke back through. In fact, we broke through the 50 as well, and we're holding above this. Now, one of the things to keep in mind about Nvidia is that their products right now are very, very hot. And it's not just computer gamers, and it's not just people that are building new computers that want Nvidia products. The Bitcoin miners are after all of these products, and there is pretty much no place that can keep them in stock. So there, a lot of this price grinding up, it has to do with how hot Bitcoin is and how people want to get into mining Bitcoin. I mean, I myself, I didn't think I had the ability to mine Bitcoin. I got a new Nvidia graphics card put in my computer. I literally did about an hour of reading, and in 30 minutes later, I had a personal Bitcoin miner set up on my computer that runs an Nvidia product. So I know for a fact that I'm not the only one doing that, and I know for a fact that the people that mine Bitcoin professionally are often ordering pallets, it seems, of these cards, and we can't keep them in stock. That's got to be good for the stock price. But I also think that the stock price might move around with Bitcoin a little bit. While there's not necessarily a direct link, the fact is that as the price of Bitcoin either holds or goes higher, those miners are going to want to keep pounding that, and they're going to use Nvidia products to do that. So I actually really like this. I like the product itself. I'm a big fan of saying trade what you know, right? Trade the things that you can hold in your hand that you know about. Nvidia is one of those. I love their products. I use their products. I like the stock. Generally here is as far as taking a new trade, I'd actually wait for this to come back into support, right? So a good entry here would have been as it kind of curled back towards the 50-day here. That would have given you a little bit of a discount. I'm generally speaking not going to chase green candles.
All righty, and someone was asking which Nvidia card you.
I was fortunate to get the 3080. Okay, 3080 was the video card that I got. I had to show up to a store an hour and a half before it opened on a very, very cold January morning, and I was incredibly lucky. I got the last card of the shipment.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, man. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in today, and it looks like Spencer's here to bring us over.
I didn't hear anything that Ryan just said other than that he likes the stock. That's all that I heard.
That sounds about right.
All right.
He likes the stock. That's what he said. That's what I heard. All right.
Now, do we have a T-shirt coming out for that? I saw a T-shirt design with "I like the stock."
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I mean, Alyssa made the T-shirt.
We didn't coin that, but we could definitely profit off it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna wear that shirt. Let's go. It's got a cat on it if I'm not mistaken.
Time for a Newsdesk update. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
All right, I'm joined now by Bill Haddad from the Benzinga Pro Newsdesk. Bill, what up, man?
How's it going?
How are we doing today?
Pretty good. Markets up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. S&P up about 0.3%.
Okay.
Looks like a lot of those tech names have been rebounding, and markets also kind of weigh in some. The Fed minutes from the March meeting came out. Yeah. The Fed kind of indicated that they were going to continue the accommodative policies until they see like better signs of a rebound.
Yeah.
And we actually had some jobless data that came out.
Oh, jobless claims.
Yeah. And
better or worse than expected?
So the jobless claims were higher than expected, and the market hasn't really been reacting to data like that this much. But one thing that's kind of interesting is the jobless claims being worse than expected kind of reinforced the Fed's outlook that they're going to wait until there's like very clear signs of an economic recovery to kind of scale back their accommodative policy. So in some cases, like this could even be viewed as favorable for the market because, you know, the shakier our economic recovery outlook is, then, you know, the longer the Fed's going to continue those kind of accommodative policies we've been seeing.
It's the old bad news is good news trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So putting the macro aside, are there individual stocks, individual headlines that are on your radar today?
So one that actually just kind of came in over the past hour or so, is or 20 minutes actually, is the headline just came out on cruises from Bloomberg that Royal Caribbean is extending the suspension of its cruises until June 30th. And yesterday, the whole sector was up because the CDC said that they expect cruises to resume by midsummer with no restrictions. But now we're seeing this, and this is kind of something we've been seeing a decent amount of. Obviously, like the vaccination rollout is coming along really smoothly, but there's still that kind of uncertainty with the variants and coordinating between the states and international travel. So the reopening sector has still been a little volatile, even though it's overall looking to be pretty optimistic.
So it looks like we're giving back all the gains and then some from yesterday.
Yeah. I'm seeing Royal Caribbean down, Carnival, NCLH. So definitely on that.
Is that spreading to the airlines too, I wonder?
So the airlines were down this morning too, and that could just be because of, you can see the charts all kind of look the same. They were already trailing down at the open. It could just be profit taking from the reopening names being kind of hot recently, or just again, like I said, uncertainty with the variants, uncertainty is for like the coordination of the actual reopening process and like a clear timeline.
Sure. So just to be clear, the CDC says you can maybe sail again in the summer, and Royal Caribbean says we're not sailing until at least July, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we have a number. At least we have a date now to go off of. So I've lost count of how many times they've extended the no sail orders. I think we're up to like 5 or 6 now. But that would explain the overall weakness today in at least cruise stocks. Not so much spreading the other reopening plays. What else are you seeing? What else is going on out there?
One thing that kind of was interesting is Blink charging. We got up almost 12% right now.
Whoa.
This is another one of those interesting ones because they've had a few news items over the past couple days. Today they announced they're deploying charging ports at Four Brothers Pizza Inn locations in New York. Not familiar with that chain, but I mean, that's still good that they're expanding their footprint. Another thing that's interesting about Blink though is they moved on all this infrastructure hype that we've been seeing recently when Biden rolled out his plan, because a lot of people are expecting that a big part of the plan is going to be like sustainable energy, and Biden even talked about this as far back as the presidential debates about an electric vehicle charging network, and this is the ones that responded the most. So this will be an interesting one to watch out for sure. Don't entirely know. I mean, this is one that is also pretty volatile. All these electric vehicle stocks are. I don't know how much of today's price action is related to like these two news items they've had the past few days, and how much of it is just overall EV sector optimism. But definitely one that we're keeping an eye out on. Over the course of the next year, as we get further into the infrastructure rollout.
If you watch Pre-Market Prep, at least the end of the show, you caught me say that Blink Charging is presenting today at the Wedbush EV conference. They're among the 15 or so companies presenting. So this headline probably came from that, if I had to guess. So I said watch out for these EV stocks like Blink. I mentioned all of them. Canoe, right? GEOV. I mentioned Luminar, Faraday Future. I mentioned GM. So have all of these sort of on your radar here today. And I did mention this. So it looks like there was a headline out from Blink's presentation, whatever you want to call that. And up 10% today. Nice day for Blink. What else you seen out there?
So Constellation Brands also had their earnings. And earnings were good. Guidance came in below estimates. They're down about 5% right now. But that was probably the most notable earnings report. We're pretty much out of the earnings season,
but not for long, Bill.
No, May 1st, I think, is when we start seeing.
May? No, I don't think so. I think it's next week.
Next week might be the bank earnings, but that's usually kind of the prelim.
JP Morgan reports on the 14th. All right, so that's not real earnings season. Wait, when's real earnings season?
Usually it's about 2 weeks after the banks finish their earnings season. So we're looking about early May.
So that we still have a month. Time out. Wait, when's Netflix? Because Netflix is always early, right? Earlier. Netflix is the 20th. So maybe not next week, but the week after is when we get some earnings flow. I know you're not looking forward to it, but the rest of us are.
Yeah.
And I do see here in the Pro that the Constellation Brands conference call is at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So 40 minutes from now, if you're interested in checking that out. Stock down 5% today. I did wonder briefly if it would drag down other cannabis stocks because they've got their exposure, but I haven't seen that. I've actually seen the opposite today. A number of cannabis stocks are trading up. U.S. listed or exchange listed, like picks and shovels companies like GRWG are up today, which is interesting. IIPR, same thing. So not that one. IIPR, that one. So weird. Anyway, anything else on your radar that you're watching as far as headlines, as far as movers or general trends?
One more headline that was kind of interesting that we got after the close yesterday was this report that Twitter was previously in talks to acquire Clubhouse.
Yeah.
The stock spiked on that. The talks are said to not be still ongoing, but I think we saw a similar thing back a while back with TikTok and some of the companies that were reportedly in talks with TikTok.
Right.
Talks weren't ongoing, but the stock was still running on it. So Twitter's pretty flat right now. It had a spike after hours yesterday, but it's back down. But that was something to watch out for. Because I know
whatever happened with it, nothing ever happened with the TikTok thing, right? Because Walmart was supposed to buy the U.S. operations, and like that never happened, right?
I don't actually remember what happened with that deal.
I remember that like the Trump administration was like forcing like the sale of TikTok in the U.S. Otherwise, they're going to ban it from the App Store or have it banned, whatever. And that and then they're like looking for a suitor, and then Walmart was going to buy them, and that never happened. I just like nothing ever happened with that. And I remember I'm pretty sure that's what. How long ago was this? Like it was around October. It was definitely around October, I think. That and so you can see on the Walmart chart. I think a lot of this was related to TikTok, honestly. That move there. But nothing ever happened with that. Bill, are you on Clubhouse by chance?
I'm not. I've never used Clubhouse. I'm the only person that's
you're
missing out.
Hey, hot take from me. You're not missing that much, all right? I had to turn off my notifications because I got so many notifications from the day from like people that I don't know or care, right? Like, oh, we're in a room now talking about this startup thing, and like, I don't care about that. So turned it off. Haven't been on the app in 2 weeks, and you're not missing much. But by the way, did you know that Jason gave out my phone number earlier today on the stream?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did that. That happened. I had 10 phone calls in the span of like 30 seconds. People call me. I don't know. That was weird. All right. Before I let you go, Bill, any final thoughts? Anything else, or is that going to be a wrap?
No, it's kind of a wrap. We're kind of in a quieter part in the news cycle in between earnings season. So
no, I hate it. I hate it, Bill.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to talk to you during earnings season.
There'll be a lot more for sure.
You're always in a great mood. I feel like
I'm immune. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I can take.
You can take it. Yeah. Everyone loves earnings seasons except for the guys on our desk who have to like go in early and stay late to make sure everything gets covered and posted because there's just a deluge of reports at the exact same time. But Bill, we appreciate your work. Thank you very much. You make the news easier to consume, and I appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Bill Haddad.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
All right. SPAX Attack will be on here in a couple of minutes. I just wanted to go back to the thing I mentioned very briefly. I don't know what's going on here this morning. But if you look at these cannabis stocks, these picks and shovel cannabis stocks, right? Not companies that actually grow the plant, but companies that are suppliers or ancillary businesses, all up today. Look at GrowGen, up 8% today, right? Look at IIPR, up 2% today. How do you know where to find these names? Let me bring your attention to this screen here that I use. Where's my? Let me just share the whole damn window. How about that? I use this page all the time. This is a page. This is benzinga.com/cannabis/stocks. Okay, every single cannabis stock, Nasdaq, NYSE, OTC markets, everything that trades in the U.S., every U.S. traded cannabis stock is here on this list. And so I noticed today, I saw GrowGen. I was like, oh, GrowGen's up. Crap. Well, let me see. Let me look around. But I don't really know all of the cannabis stocks. I know a few of them. I know the ones that trade on the OTC markets, but I don't know a lot of the ones that trade on exchanges. And those aren't, remember, if you trade on an exchange right now, because it's federally illegal, you can't grow the plant. So I know GrowGen doesn't grow the plant, and I want to find related businesses. So I just went to the sorted by exchange, and I see, okay, went through all the NASDAQ names, all the NYSE names, and I looked for ancillary companies that aren't pharmaceuticals, that aren't growing the plant, but that are in like the picks and shovels business. And IIPR jumped out to me as one. So, and those are kind of the two, right? The two, I guess, main ones, GrowGen and IIPR. So I'm watching these today. I don't know why. I don't really have to know why, right? I just need, I'm looking for the relationship, and I found that relationship right there. So IIPR, GrowGen, there may have been a couple more. If you look at all of them, they're all kind of up in like Village Farms, VFF. There's one, right? Well, it's off those highs now, but I'm looking for relationships. Solar open up. No, you cannot get my cell number. You cannot have my cell number. I guess I gave it away by mentioning that, because you can go back and watch it, but please don't do that. Frank, what's up with CLVR? Clover Leaves. Sorry, call it Clover. Let's check it out. Let's hop over into the news. See what's going on. Don't see any headlines today. Do we see any PRs? Yeah, they had a PR out this morning. They're expanding their presence in Brazil and Peru through a partnership with the Vertimed. Okay, let's go back to the chart. I hate this 1 minute crap. Let's zoom out. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. I don't know, man. I mean, like, that sounds like good news to me, right? So, you know the old saying, if you're selling off on good news, you really hate to see a stock sell off on good news, right? This sounds like good news. Or it could be a nothing burger. Either way, the fact that the stock is down on what appears to be a good headline, you don't like seeing that. You don't like seeing that at all. Where are all the SPAC fans? Yeah, SPAC's attack starting right now, give or take 30 seconds. I'm going to end this stream. It'll redirect automatically to SPAC's attack. You don't even have to do anything. Like, maybe you have to hit play. At most, you have to hit play. But they're talking top SPAC buys today on SPAC's attack. Chris Kachi, Mitch Hotch, and I'm not going to leave until I know that for sure that they're live. Because I don't want to leave you guys hanging like that. So sorry on that Clever Leaves. Whoever asked about that, Frank. I don't know. I mean, like, let's see if we can find some support. There really isn't much though in this area. Like, I just look for like a series of lows or a series of highs. So you've got a few lows there. So that's like an area maybe you control your risk. If you want to take a flyer, you say, okay, I'll take a flyer on this stock and I'll stop myself out in like the high 80s or the high 8s, excuse me, the high 8s, right? Give myself $1 to breathe if you wanted to. But the trend is your friend. And in this case, the trend is down, and you don't need me to tell you that. So, okay, that'll be a wrap here for Trading with Benzinga Pro Newsdesk update. Once again, I'm going to say it every time. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Pro.benzinga.com gets you a free 2-week trial. Promo code YouTube20 will get you 20% off your Benzinga Pro subscription if a trial doesn't quite do it for you. Benzinga.partnerstack.com to become a Benzinga Pro affiliate, and the Benzinga Bootcamp this Saturday. Benzinga.com/events/boot-camp. Link up on the screen. Link going in chat. There it is. Check it out. Full day of trading, 9 to 4. If 5 days of Benzinga is not enough for you, we got the weekend as well. So on that note, that'll be a wrap for me. Smash the like. Also, leave comments. It came to my attention that our videos got like no comments, and that also doesn't really, help us out in the eyes of YouTube. So leave us a comment below. Tell us what you think. We're in there. I'm in the comments. I'm tracking the comments at least. I'm engaging with them. So leave us a comment. It's the equivalent of a like, right? So in the eyes of YouTube, they just see the engagement and help us out there. Aaron Bryan, when is the VIP ticket announced? That is a good question. I'm going to assume Neil Hamilton is doing that on Get Technical. So, yeah, I don't know anything about that. But Neil would know. So you have to tune in to Get Technical tomorrow to find out. That's going to be a wrap for me. Like I said, I'm going to hop off. Spax Attack will hop on, and we're done. I'll see you guys later on in the day. We've got Zinger Nation Power Hour. We've got crypto, biotech, at the close, cannabis, a whole lot more. I'm off. I'll see you later.